Hey guys, it's Saga from TechWorks, and the video that you guys have been waiting for is finally here. The in-depth camera comparison between the Redmi Note 5 Pro and the Moto G5S Plus. Redmi Note 5 Pro was the winner when I compared it with the Mi A1's camera. So I am really excited to see how the camera of the G5S Plus will do in this comparison. Note 5 Pro is fairly new to the market, while the Moto G5S Plus has been out for some time, and it is due for an upgrade maybe in a month or so. Keeping that in mind, first let us check out the specifications of the camera on both these phones. But before we get to that, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the amazing videos coming up on this channel. Main camera on the Redmi Note 5 Pro has a 12 megapixel sensor with f2.2 aperture. Secondary camera has a 5 megapixel sensor with f2.2 aperture, and this sensor is used for capturing the depth information for portrait shots. You get a dual LED single tone flash on this one. Both rear cameras on the Moto G5S Plus sport 13 megapixel sensors with f2.2 aperture. One of these cameras captures normal colored images, while the other one captures monochrome or black and white images. With this, you get a color balancing dual LED flash. You can shoot 4K videos at 30 frames per second on the Moto G5S Plus, but the Redmi Note 5 Pro can only shoot 1080p videos at 30 frames per second as of now. None of these have optical stabilization, but the videos are electronically stabilized on both. You cannot switch between the lenses while taking images on any of these phones. The front-facing camera on the G5S Plus has a 8 megapixel sensor with f2.2 aperture, and the one on the Redmi Note 5 Pro has a 20 megapixel sensor with f2.2 aperture, and both of them have a front-facing flash. You also get the portrait mode on the front-facing camera of the Note 5 Pro. I like how the rear camera module on the Moto G5S Plus looks. It's like it has a personality of its own, while the one on the Note 5 Pro is straight out copied from the iPhone X. Camera interface on both these phones are a bit different. On the Note 5 Pro, you swipe to the left or right if you want to switch between various modes. On the Moto G5S Plus, you have to tap on this option if you want to switch between various modes. Both of them offer manual controls for taking images. Moto gives you control over exposure, ISO, shutter speed, white balance, and focus. But the controls in the manual section of the Note 5 Pro are only limited to white balance and ISO. Moto G5S Plus was really slow in processing the depth mode images when it was launched, but Moto has been pushing out many software updates to fix this. And now there is no lag at all, as you can see here. Alright, now let's take a look at the image and videos from these phones. Right from the first image, you can see that the G5S Plus captures warmer colors, while the images from the Note 5 Pro have a cooler tone to them. Note 5 Pro also captures sharper and much detailed images, whereas Moto's images look a lot softer in comparison. Dynamic range on the Note 5 Pro is really good. Even while shooting in normal mode, it tries to expose for the highlights, whereas the G5S Plus captures the scene as it is, which sometimes looks too bright or too dark. Again, here you can see how sharp the image from the Note 5 Pro is, while the one from the Moto G5S Plus seems too muddy in comparison. There is a bit more noise in the sky on image of the Note 5 Pro, but it also captures more details and better contrast, which makes the overall image look much better. While shooting in HDR mode, both phones do well to preserve the highlights and bring up the details in the shadows. In this HDR shot, Moto's image is a bit brighter, but Note 5 Pro did a better job of bringing up the details in the shadows of the coconut tree. Again, in this image, I like the colors from the Moto, but the Note 5 Pro brought back the color of the sky, and you can also see more details in the darker parts of the bike. Before we move on to the close-up shots, here is a quick test between the focusing speed of both these cameras. Both have face detection autofocus and do well at quickly changing the focus from far to near objects. There is not much focus hunting from both, as we see in some of the other cameras in this price range. Here are some close-up shots. Minimum focusing distance on the Note 5 Pro seems to be a bit better, which means you can get a bit more closer to the subject on the Note 5 Pro than you can on the Moto G5S Plus. Images from both look good, but I am slightly inclined towards the ones from the G5S Plus since it captures a bit more light thanks to the slightly wider aperture. Both can take some beautiful portrait shots. Edge detection might be a bit off sometimes, but it does a good job for the most part. What I am more concerned about is the slight color shift in the images of the Note 5 Pro while taking these portrait shots. It is not as bad as it is on the Mi A1, but compared to the portrait shots of the Moto G5S Plus, there is a bit green tint to the portrait images of the Note 5 Pro. I hope it's a minor software issue and can be fixed with one of the future software updates. Both do a good job while taking portrait images of objects as well. With Moto, you can even adjust the amount of blur while taking or even after you have clicked the image. Now let's move to artificial and low lighting situations. Note 5 Pro again captures detailed and sharper images of the two. Moto tries to capture the true colors of the scene, and the Note 5 Pro captures a bit saturated colors in lower light. Both look good on their own, but which one you like will again depend on your color preferences. Both of them capture noise in lower lighting conditions, but Note 5 Pro handles the exposure of the light much better in these conditions. You can also see and point out much more details in its images compared to those of the Moto G5S Plus. So in lower light, Note 5 Pro is definitely better. Coming to the front-facing cameras, images from the Note 5 Pro are brighter and detailed, and it also has a much better dynamic range. Plus, you can take portrait images with its front-facing camera as well. If you feel that the images from the Note 5 Pro are too bright, you can just tap on yourself before clicking the image and bring down the exposure a bit. There is no secondary front-facing camera, and all the blurring in the front-facing portrait shots is done by software. While shooting videos, both have electronic stabilization, but the videos from the Note 5 Pro are much smoother in comparison. Moto can shoot 4K videos with the native camera app, but you need to download a third-party camera app like Open Camera to shoot 4K videos on the Note 5 Pro. So after looking at all these images and videos, you can see that the Moto G5S Plus can take good images, especially in HDR and portrait mode. But the overall details, sharpness and dynamic range is much better from the images of the Note 5 Pro. So if you are looking to choose between these devices based on their camera, go with the Redmi Note 5 Pro. It costs more than the Moto G5S Plus right now, but at that price, you will also get much better and upgraded hardware and a smoother overall performance. What do you think about the camera on both these devices? And which one do you think performed better? Do let me know in the comments. If you are going to buy any of these phones, I will appreciate if you buy them from the links in the description section. That is it for this video guys. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to the channel for more quality tech videos like this. You can also check out some of the other videos from this channel. This has been Sagar, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.